3FM Sunrise.
And we know that there will be obstacles. One, you need to provide security, because people must be able to work in the night without armed robbers going to attack them. So it means that we must provide more police officers. We must provide all those companies with security so that they're able to do their work. But if we have to provide more police officers and security men, it means we will employ more young people to join the security services to be able to make the 24-hour economy work. And so it doesn't mean that if already one or two industries are doing it, or one or two companies are doing it, we cannot provide incentives for more of them to do it so that they can provide opportunity for more young people to get work. And so it is our policy, we'll implement it. It's not by force. When we come, we'll open it. The initiative is available. Any company that wants to work a shift system and work more than the 8 hours that they normally work, from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, they will sign on, and we'll give them tax incentives. Because if you work the extra shift, you will be given tax breaks. Aside from that, you'll be provided with security and everything that you need to be able to employ more people. And so it's a project that we will adopt. We have a group of experts working on it. We'll roll out the policy, and companies that voluntarily want to sign on will be allowed to. It is our intention to turn our economy into a 24-hour economy, with factories and businesses working 24 hours a day, every day, especially in the production of high-end goods, not only for export but also for the local markets. The additional shifts this will create will bring in a significant number of new jobs. And since we are talking about the production of high-end goods, there will be decent jobs with decent salaries and will allow people to live a dignified life. In the People's Manifesto, we also pledge that every Ghanaian will have access and benefit from a free primary health care plan. This will include cure, prevention, and health promotion. When you visit a district hospital, a polyclinic, a health center, or a CHIPS compound, you will be attended to for free. I guarantee that we will deliver on this, because access to healthcare is a human right, and because we, the NDC, always put the people first.
What is this 24-hour economy that you want to bring? It is purely an issue for any business. If you feel you will make money opening 24 hours, there is no law preventing you from opening. But this is one idea that John Mahama thinks he has brought. It is a bad idea. It is an idea that has not been thought through. It is a bad idea. And so I want you to compare me and John Mahama. Who has the ideas to transform this economy? Who has the ideas? Who has the ideas? Yes, the track record of John Mahama doesn't show innovative thinking. It doesn't show ideas. The track record of Dr. Baumia is idea after idea after idea after idea after idea. That is the difference. I tell you, I have my own priorities and I will have my own vision. When I become president, I will bring more ideas, and you will hear about them. Anna card. Today we have issued over 70 Anna card. Today we have issued over 70 Anna card.
And the vice president is saying that he understands the region. He says this 24-hour economies. Hey, my brothers, when we work in our farms and we are tired in the night, we have to sleep with our wives. So we have to be with our wives. So in the night, you want us also to go and be farming, and then people will come and take our wives away. Hey, now we have to be careful about this 24-hour thing. And And the vice president is saying that he understands the region. He says these 24-hour economies, hey, my brothers, when we work in our farms and we are tired in the night, we have to sleep with our wives. Oh. We have to be with our wives. Oh. In the night, you want us also to go and be farming, and then people will come and take our wives away. Hey, now we have to be careful about this 24-hour thing. Oh. And the vice president is saying that he understands the region. He says
3FM Sunrise.
Stephen. MP for Bohem is in the constituency. The MP for Otafo is also in the constituency. The constituency that houses Adesanwe. Yeah. So they are guests in our constituency. Fee Adams and lawyer Echo Vincent Asifwa. Council, good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations are in order.
Thank you so much.
Draw the microphone closer to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I think this is the first time I'm coming here ever since you joined 3FM. I think the last time you met was on TV3.
Yes.
So nice to meet you here. Thank you so much.
Freshly minted lawyer. in good standing. Kofi, how are you?
Well, by His grace, we're doing well once we can breathe in and out. But really, things are terrible. And anywhere you turn around, it's so difficult, but because we survive on hope, we keep hoping that tomorrow will be better. And out of the audios that you played, clearly, I have every confidence and hope that the 24-hour economy, which is run everywhere that have developed, will come to Ghana. And so I am just so happy about it. I'm so happy about that policy. That alone gives me so much hope and something to work for.
Your neighbors don't have an MP.
Yes.
Talking 24-hour economy.
It's been a terrible situation. And the Attorney General recently was out there indicating clearly that what the Electoral Commission did by denying the people of SAL the right to vote in the 2020 election was a very bad decision. Was more like an unconstitutional act. And I believe that this is something that shall be visited later. And the case is in court, right. So to a large extent, there's very little that sometimes you can say. Right. But recently, the lawyer for the petitioners raised some matters to do with the CI 112, which created Oti region, and which stated clearly that the following districts shall form
the region.
And at that time, Central Kofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and Lolobi was not a district. And so the CI 112 itself, by the preamble of the CI, could not have included traditional areas that are not districts and that do not belong to any of the named districts. Because at that time, they were still part of Hohwe Municipal. And so he's raised a very strong matter. I have issued some statement of a sort to that effect, but maybe it did not receive enough traction, and we await to see what happens in the courts.
Echo,
Senior.
how is Otafo?
Well, Otafo as well. Let me take this opportunity to extend my greetings to the good people of Otafo constituency, especially the constituency executives and the team in polling station executives across the constituency as far as the MPP is concerned. And also the chiefs of Otafo, Nana Tafo Hine, that is Nana Jim Frimpong, and the sub-chiefs, the Pankone Hino, Dikru, and Nana Tafwa. I greet all of you this morning.
Do you support the 24-hour economy?
Well, I think that it's a policy that in principle may not be a bad idea. It depends on how you will be able to explain it for the Ghanaian people to understand. And also, it also depends on what you really mean by 24-hour economy. It cannot be a slogan for purposes of winning an election, but it should be backed with content. It should be able to be backed with substance as to what you really want to do. Initially, when I heard the 24-hour economy, it was hollow, it was empty, there was nothing that was supporting it. For me to be convinced that indeed His Excellency John Dramani Mahama meant well. I have had issues with his credibility. I've had issues with his person, especially with respect to delivering on such promises. Owing from the fact that he is not a new person, he's not somebody who just came to the political scene. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been a vice president before, and as we speak, there cannot be a single or monumental policy that you can credit to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as vice president, not even as president, as vice president. There cannot be one, not even one monumental policy that you can credit to John Dramani Mahama. And so I am finding it difficult to believe His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, because there are quite a number of things that he said when he was the running mate to His Excellency J.E.A. Mills, and even when he became president, the very things that he mentioned that he was not able to deliver on them. For example? Owing to, well, if you remember, I worked with the Ministry of Education. You remember when he said that he's implementing what we call progressive free senior high school education. In 2015, it was in the budget statement. In fact, they also put in the handing over notes that they implemented what we call progressive free senior high school education. My deep checks across all the senior high schools across the country was that not even a penny was paid in relation to these students who were supposedly under a certain progressive free senior high school education. He failed woefully to deliver on such a promise. I remember at the time that he was the running mate to J.E.A. Mills, he spoke about the fact that they were going to, or his administration possibly, is going to implement what we call the one-time or one premium national health insurance scheme. They came to government and clearly he was not able to do so. He spoke about the 200 e-blocks, that given the opportunity within 4 years they will be able to complete 200 e-blocks. As we speak, or even in 2017 when we took the reins of government, just about 22 of them had been done.
But you promised 350, you remember that?
That's okay, but I'm just saying that
you have not built one.
That's okay. I'm just saying that when we came to government, the 350 that we were talking about was not something that was put in the manifesto promise of the New Patriotic Party.
You have not built one out of the 350.
When we came, the assessment that we made... You are holding a gun
against somebody who has built some out of his 200.
The assessment that we made, the assessment was that it is proper for us to be able to expand the existing senior high schools rather than to go on the tangent of building new schools. And so if you come to my constituency, there's a school like Okes. Okes is one of the schools that clearly you could see that you would have a lot of people, or a lot more people who would want to be part of that school, who want to have advantage in being into that school. Why is it going to be proper for a government to say that let me establish another new school very close to Okes or in the province of Otafo when you can expand the fortunes of Osage Senior High School? And so that is what government opted to do at the time, to be able to make sure that we will expand the facilities, we will expand the various senior high school, so that there's normal school or a typical school that will take 1,000 will be able to take 2,000. And that is the needs assessment that we did at the time to be able to do that. So it was not necessarily about delivering the promise, but we felt that it is proper for us to expand at that time.
I see. Let's focus a bit on the 24-hour economy. And Dr. Bawumia's proposition is a blue economy, right? Or has it changed?
Well, I think that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia feels that the promise that is made by John Dramani Mahama is one that is not well thought out.
He said it's a bad idea. The 24-hour economy is a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
Do you believe it's a bad idea?
It's a bad idea because it is not backed with any substance.
That's why it's a bad idea.
Yes, because if you look at, if you really listen to...
But when Dr. Bawumia mentioned the blue economy, he didn't back it with anything.
I am saying that when you listen to the full video of what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said, you remember that at the point he said that it is already in existence. It is nothing new.
Right.
So it is not that he meant that it is a bad idea as in a bad idea, but he felt that it has not been explained well. Nothing shows that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama means what he's saying. He has not been able to prove or demonstrate to the people of Ghana that indeed, he will want to implement the 24-hour economy in such a way that Ghanaian people will understand.
How
and
did they come to that
it.
conclusion?
Because as we speak, you go to Ghana airport, or if you like, you go to the airport. Most of the workers at the airport are working 24 hours.
Right.
I believe that if you come to the private space, a private company that would want to, as it were, embark on a 24-hour shift would have to be able to meet a certain demand. There's no proper research, or there's no proper ancillary policies that will ensure the 24-hour economy for a private business, because you cannot just produce when you don't have, you can't meet the demand.
Added chop bars to the list of people that already run a 24-hour economy.
You don't think so? You don't think that the nine clubs are already?
Which chop bar?
You don't think that 9 clubs are already?
9 clubs are not chop bars.
They are not chop bar, but you don't think that the hospital industries, there are people who are also...
He mentioned specifically chop bar. I grew up in Abosokai.
Yes.
I know the Takrady station.
Yes.
It has about 15 or 20 chop bars. A line of chop bars.
Yes.
You talk about chop bar.
You think that in this country there are no places that you go and find fufu to chop at 1 a.m.? Is that what you're saying?
Do you eat fufu at 1 a.m.?
Yes, people eat fufu at 1 a.m. People.
Do you? Have you bought fufu at 1 a.m.?
Yeah, it depends on what I'm doing at that time. You get the point. But I'm just saying that
so there are places that already run fufu business for 24 hours.
Mobile money vendors. One of the things that I was expecting His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to speak to the understanding of the Ghanaian people so as to be able to buy into that policy was, what are you going to do to be able to support mobile money vendors? Okay, a mobile money vendor who would want to operate till like 12 a.m. but because of thievery and armed robbery will have to close around 7. Are you going to provide security for each mobile money vendor? Is that what is going to happen? In the absence of that, I have not been convinced, or I cannot be convinced as to how you are going to implement the 24-hour economy.
So for you, because John Mahama has not backed his idea of a 24-hour economy with, the standpoints that you're looking for,
yes,
then you will sing Dr. Bawumia's song that is a bad idea.
I'm just saying that the 24-hour economy to me is not a bad idea as in a bad idea. In principle. But it becomes a bad idea.
You have a problem with the person proposing it.
One, his credibility, and two, it is also a bad idea because the one proposing it has not been able to back it with substance.
I see.
If you don't back it with substance, it becomes a bad idea.
Kovin, let me bring you into the conversation. Would you support the blue economy, or you stick with the 24-hour economy?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity, and let me take this time to also extend some regards to my constituents. A blue economy will necessarily run under a 24-hour economy. And so once His Excellency John Dramani Mahama comes in and the implementation of the 24-hour economy is running, automatically all those sectors that are mentioned under the blue economy will be beneficiary. So I will not sit here and behave like the Vice President Bawumia to say that, this is a bad idea. But it's just a subset of what it is that the big brain has spoken about.
But is it a bad idea?
The blue economy.
The 24-hour economy.
How can it be bad when that is what everybody is driving at? I know Vincent sitting here have traveled small, if not extensively at least. He would have traveled even as Member of Parliament, as Special Assistant to the Minister for Education, would have traveled, You were?
He was the spokesperson.
That time.
That time. I'm talking about.
He was the spokesperson for the minister.
Well, the special assistants were the spokespersons. They were special assistants.
Okay. I didn't know that. I only knew him as the spokesperson.
They were special. They were special assistants.
They were also special assistants. They were doubling as that. Okay. Thank you for the information.
So he would have traveled around and would have encountered many economics that are advanced. That what they operate and do is this 24-hour thing. But even they today are raising discussions about how to formalize their 24-hour economy. UK, there's discussion going on. Sydney, discussions going on, many other places. So it is absolutely not wrong. It's a well thought through policy that for the first time, government will have a deliberate policy to make sure that the 24-hour economy runs and runs effectively.
Dr. Baumia says it's already running.
How
We're
can it
already
be running?
practicing it, so you are not bringing any new ideas. He's the ideas man.
Like Dr. Kwachi of Institute of Economic Affairs said,
right.
he said, if you don't understand something, you should be modest enough to ask for explanation. Unfortunately, Dr. Baumia feels like he knows everything, and that's how he has been presented by Vincent and co, including even the president. So because of that, he always wants to exhibit that. It's like that village champion who has been presented like he's the best of everything, that he's the strongest person, until one day he goes into a fight that you see very well that you are confronting a giant who will beat you to pulp. But because your people have told you you are the best, you still want to insist until you are punched and virtually destroyed completely. That's what is happening to Baumia now. You have gotten to your willed end, and he must understand so that all those lectures he did, all those presentations that he did, which presented him as a whiz kid for economy, and so on and so forth, all the celebrations, all the plaudits that he's received, today he has been badly exposed. And so he's no longer the Baumia that was sold to us, and must stop speaking the way he's speaking. Look, the 24-hour economy is going to happen.
How are you going to do it?
Yeah, we're going to do it because we said one, it's going to be a policy. A policy to make sure that even institutions, public institutions, some of them will have to run 24/7. Immediately mentioning will be a place like DVLA, a place like Passport Office. There should not be any reason why you must leave your work to be rushing to DVLA office just so to go and renew your license because they will be closing by 5 p.m. It should be possible for you, if you are working from 8 to 5, you close your work and still have opportunity to drive into a DVLA offices and go through every process that you have to go through physically to have your license renewed or your car documents corrected for you. That should be possible. There should be no reason why, because you know every day they also start work from 8 and close at 5. You have to steal some of your productive time here to be rushing there. Or because of that, you avoid renewal of your what? Documents, and you will fall foul of the law. So such an institution will be able to even self-pay. They must run. It's state-owned, it's public, it will run. Passport. There should be no reason why, if your fingerprints have to be taken, because you work in an institution where you have to be there from 8 to 5 p.m., by the time you close, the passport office have also closed. So if you have to have your fingerprints taken, you need to necessarily take some time off your work when you should be productive in where you are to get that done.
But Vincent, for example, has questioned the credibility and integrity of John Mahama.
Well,
to say that the person putting this out is not trustworthy.
You see,
because in the past he promised us things that he didn't do. What do you say to that?
You see, John Dramani Mahama is one person, and I'm that person who have worked with a lot of presidents, at least. I've worked with President Rawlings, I've worked with President Mills, and I've worked with President Mahama. I must say that each president comes and he's given a certain title of a sort by the people he or she leads. And at a point, President Mahama was synonymous with what? Infrastructure. When you mention his name, the next thing you see is infrastructural development. That is what you see.
Commissioner General, Nation
Builder. Those are the names that just came out from the people. And you see, sometimes when you try to present falsehood, that's what happens. You tend to give yourself different figures. He sits here and talked about 22 community day schools.
My producer says the Commissioner General is Nana Akufo-Addo commissions everything.
As for them, they turn sword cutting to commissioning. When they cut sword, when they cut sword, they call it commissioning. When they cut sword, they call it commissioning.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happens. That is why Nana Kumia could sit on air and say that the watermelon factory in Wale Wale is employing 380 people because they've cut salt and something has been done there. So for him, what he's supposed to do is already happening. But there's no factory there. There's no factory there. But he's already telling you that it's employed 380 people. That's MPP for you. But we are not into that. We are not into that. He sits here and says that only 22 community day schools have been completed. The minister he was spokesperson of, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, himself stated to us that it was 46. So who are we? No, whichever funding source it was it not community day schools that were considered? Why? Did it matter where the funding source is coming from? Whether it was World Bank had, you see, we arranged for a 150. We arranged for a 156
he thinks
million.
You're not being fair to him.
We arranged a $156 million funding. Part of it was to go into funding 30 of those community day schools.
Right.
Part of the money was to be used in improving 50 of the already existing schools. Those monies were left for them to come and implement. And it is that money they utilize to improve some of the schools that they are claiming they did. Meanwhile, the funding was secured by the John Dramani Mahama administration. Part of that money was used for the community day schools, and part was to be used in improving already existing 50 schools. He's sitting here. He should challenge me about those funding. So,
Vincent, do you want to respond about the 50 schools?
Well, the point is that I mean we have two categories. We have the Get Fund funded projects and the World Bank funded projects. Now, I was talking about the completion of Get Fund projects, which was 22. Okay. Now there were also World Bank projects, but you see, at the time that they were compiling the handing over notes, because FPMU, which is the agency under the Ministry of Education, gives about quarterly update. At the time that they were doing so, they were not up to the 46. Okay. Now, when the minister came to power, and the FPMU now gave them the final list of what was the ended, or if you like, the 2016 end, as far as the completion of those projects were concerned. That is when they had the 46. Okay. But I'm telling you what was in the handing over note.
Because at the time when the reporting was done, the last quarter had not come in.
Yes, you remember that about 4 days to election, they had to go to the E-block at Kaswa to completely go and commission that, even when they were not done. So, I mean, all these ones were not part of what was put into the handed over notes. But I am of the opinion that, granted that you even completed 70 of them, how is that an achievement based on your own promise that you are going to complete 200? So, I mean, the numbers may not really be necessary, but I mean, the promise that you gave to the people of Ghana that you're going to complete 200 of them,
if that's the yardstick and that's the measure, then there's a lot that your government will have to answer. One district, one factory. Right. This is a district. There's no factory here. One village, one dam. There's no dam in my village. Not the one at Kunkunuru. Not the one at Jamestown. Not the one in the Volta region.
Farming villages.
Yes. No. That was not what you said. That was
even in the farming villages, the minister said she considered meaningless dams. Now, how do you expect her to construct even meaningful dams with that money?
Eko, if you want to hold it like that, the principle like that, then you will be at fault too. Because we can, off the top of my mind, maybe William can help me mention some of the things.
One constituency,
1 million. but did you receive yours, for example?
But I was not an MP then. Because you see, the promise
is it a promise for only a time?
No, but he's saying, did I receive mine?
Yes. But you are an MP.
But you are MP now.
Are
you receiving?
That, you see,
have you gotten a million?
The promise was in the 2016 manifesto. Manifestos are supposed to last for a period of 4 years. Okay, so I am not part of the 2017 era.
Was your boss receiving? Was Dr. Napo receiving?
The question that he asked is very specific.
No, was Honorable Napo receiving? Was he receiving his 1 million?
He said, "Have I received mine?" And I'm saying that I was not part of.
Your boss was MP. Was he receiving?
One at a time. So William is raising a question that you are holding something from the past against John Mahama, even when he was vice president. But when it gets to you, you say we should not
But you see, comparatively, you see on this platform, I said that as vice president, you cannot point to one thing, policy, initiative, that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama can be credited with. Not even one. The difference between him and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is very clear. Today, as we speak, in the comfort of your room, you can apply for a passport without necessarily going.
But that is not his initiative. That is not his initiative. Honorable Hannah Tete. Honorable Hannah
That is
Tete.
not the initiative of Dr. Mahmoud
Look,
Bawumia.
I will.
The presidency is one ticket.
Today, that is not the initiative of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Take your time for Vincent. He's
Senior,
a new lawyer.
Today, in the comfort of your room, you will be able to, as it were, apply for a passport.
But he says that's Hannah
1
Tete's
a.m., 2 a.m. I disagree with that, because we all know that
Foreign Affairs Minister.
we all know that one of the things, or some of the things that His Excellency the Vice President sought to ensure was creating a digital economy. The paperless spot. Are they the ones who brought it?
The what?
The paperless pot.
Paperless pot.
Yes. Are you the one who brought it? Because at the time, it can take you like 2-3 weeks. You will not be able to clear your stuff.
When did
Today,
it
3
start
days.
with ICOMS or the GCNet before that, or West Blue?
Well, you see, it has been a process. Okay, it has been a process. Contracts upon contracts have been awarded.
So why do you want to claim it entirely?
No, but I'm just saying that for you to have a digital way of dealing with your port, that was an initiative by His Excellency the Vice President. Because before 2016 or before 2017, when you have goods at the port, you heard some of these importers complaining. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you have not been able to clear your stuff because of the unnecessary bureaucracy that you go through. But today, within 3 days, if you're able to get your documents right, you should be able to clear your stuff from the port 2 or 3 days. I cleared a car in 2 days, just about 6 months ago. Okay.
If Dr. Bawumia knew all of these things and he would hold credit for it, why did he not announce a digitalized economy as the first time he was elected as flag bearer and he started to speak? But he said he's talking about a blue economy. Did he forget himself?
The Vice President is yet to come out very clear as to what his vision and mission statement is.
He has a new vision.
Yes, he has a
Aside
vision.
what his boss brought him
because
to help him to
because he was following the vision of his boss.
You still have 1 year.
But because that is the term of the president. But that is not his term.
William says something. He says one ticket.
I know, but I'm just saying that for him as vice president, he can only contribute to the vision of the leader. In contributing to the vision of the leader cannot be synonymous to his vision. He has his own vision as to how this country should be run. And I think that we should give him that benefit of the doubt. So His Excellency the Vice President will in no time, because as we speak, he's yet to be able to do the proper engagements with the necessary party giants and the party people to be able to ensure unity. So at the right time, we will hear His Excellency the Vice President talking about his vision and his mission statement that he has for this country.
I see. Kofi?
Yes, Johnny, I will send you a video of Honorable Hannah Tete at the time she commissioned the online passport application system after we've gone through first the pilot and fully launched it and indicated that by the standards that were set by 2017, Ghana was fully to go on biometric passport system.
Right.
And that is not a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia initiative. Indeed, like he said, that it's always been work in progress. We can actually go all the way back. Part of the reason why late Victor Salome was jailed was related to e-governance, court computerization. So we can go all the way back that each of these presidents, from President Rawlings, have done one thing or the other towards e-governance. And we came in under President Milson, President Mahama, to have a major platform on e-governance. And we did it in many, many, many sectors, even including the course and the passporting. But the thing about Dr. Bawumia that I have come to observe,
Which is
that he waits and see an area that has been well prepared and cooked. When nobody is observing, then he jumps in and takes credit. And I'll tell you.
Which areas?
One, in just 100 days in office, did you remember Dr. Bawumia organized an engagement
Yes,
with
there was
and
a press
press conference, how they have done so well, including arresting the dollar. locking it up and giving the key to IGP at P2.
Yes, I remember that.
In 100 days, you would not have done any major policy that would have resulted in such an achievement. This was as a result of what the previous administration have done that you were reaping the benefits. Because even before you took over, the cedi was already gaining against the dollar, even before they took over. And that was why Economic Intelligence Unit predicted how the economy was going to grow in 2017 and in 2018, and also predicted that the MPP was going to win the 2016 elections, and that even after they have won, the economy would do well, not because of any party that would have won the elections initiative, because of what has been done before them. But Dr. Bawumia took credit for it. In the same vein, when the economy has failed, today, he, Osei Chairman Sabonsu, majority leader, and all his persons are keeping him away from the economy, that he should not be asked questions about the economy.
You say they are keeping him away from the economy?
From answering from the economic discussions. He himself has run away. Now he has jumped onto the digitalized situation again and wanting to take credit for what he did not do anything about. Look, the longest fiber optics, which is the backbone for a digital economy, was done under John Dramani Mahama. The longest fiber optic. The Accra Data Center, that is giving opportunity to over 10,000 persons to do these outsourcing businesses that people can sit in one country and work for many other institutions in various parts of the world. That was built by John Dramani Mahama. So many other IT-related activities that were done under him. But Dr. Bawumia now sees that that is where there is opportunity. Let me jump on. The issue of even interoperability. It has long commenced. The only thing they did was, one, to delay it and give it to another. And you know, technology is like that. What may cost you 1,000 today could cost you 100 tomorrow because of advancement of what? Technology. So the fact that it cost NDC so much to do interoperability at the time they were doing it, and it cost you less many years later, didn't mean that the NDC was trying to shortchange anybody. Even they themselves admit that interoperability had commenced. The only argument they are trying to make is that it costs them less. It costs them less because of advanced technology. Johnny. Those times when it was not then Vodafone, it used to be, that was Ghana Telecom.
Ghana Telecom, yes.
When the mobile phone came, to get a SIM card, it was like looking for cocaine.
One touch.
Yes,
one touch.
It was like looking for, it was so expensive and unavailable. Today, what is happening? They are dashing it for you with even credit and data on it.
Say, come and collect.
Come and collect. So will you say that those who bought the one touch SIM then for a high price have shortchanged anybody? No, because at that time, that was the technology that was available. So interoperability had existed even before Bawumia, but he wants to take credit for it. Mobile money transfers have existed before him. He wants to take credit for it, and so on. So he is that type of person who looks for what has been cooked and done well, then he jumps and wants to grab it. But we will not waste our time on it.
Is that what Dr. Bawumia is doing?
That
he's choosing what is already cooked, then go and take funds for it.
Well, I disagree. I was just checking online. This is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on the date is that he's going to end, or the time for, why is this not opening? That the era of manual passport applications must end. I just want to find the date for you. The date is the 26th of March 2017. So you could see that it was a clear vision or policy that right after 3 months in office, that was what he was geared to do. Again, I can also show you that digitization of passport acquisition procedure has increased revenue to 56 million per year. So
when would Dr. Bawumia talk about the economy?
What is he going to talk about the economy?
When will he talk about
that's
the economy?
What I'm saying, that
as a head of the economic management team.
That's what I'm saying, that he just won an election. the vice president is now trying to deal with the internal issues early next year. I think that he should be able to come
But he hasn't
forward.
spoken on the economy for a long time.
Well, I'm just saying
He has not.
Well, I'm saying that
He's been avoiding us.
His preoccupation
Like the
is
president has been avoiding
it's
the
not
press.
just the economy. Okay, that's not his preoccupation alone as a vice president.
As the
for
head
him-
of the economic
For
management
him,
team.
why the finance minister was there? Normally, the president will call the finance minister to come to parliament to come and speak to issues of the economy in parliament for the Ghanaian people to understand. It's not the vice president who comes to
So
parliament.
if
come
we
and tell
want
the people's
answers on
government.
the economy, who do we ask?
Why? As parliamentarians, we have the option to be able to provide questions on the floor of Parliament for Minister of Finance to come and speak on behalf of government, which Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a part to. But I'm just saying that he will come out very soon to come and talk about his vision for the state, where he thinks that we are and where we are going with respect
He
to
has
the
not
economy.
finished the term that we give him and his boss, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He's now coming to tell us about a new vision.
We know we have.
Is he departing from the vision of Nanado? That would mean a vote of no confidence on Nanado.
You know that he is part of this government. This government has come to parliament just about a week ago to come and tell us how the economy should be in the year 2024.
Right.
That means that there's an idea, a fair idea as to what the economy should be. And so he will build on that. From what has been said in parliament, or if you like, from the budget statement, to build on that for us to know how he wants to turn the fortunes of this country around. Let's not forget that before 2020, this economy was doing so well. Let's not be ostracized. From 2017 to 2020, this economy was
on
doing
an
so well.
extended IMF program.
I'm just saying that from 2017 to 2020, yes, there was an extended IMF program. But why is it that in 2016, the economy was doing so bad that within a year, things turned around? It should tell you that something was being done right. Because in 2016, the inflation was at 15.4%. Just fast forward in 2018, 2019, we were now doing a single-digit inflation. The economy was growing at about 2.3% in 2016. Fast forward 2-3 years, we're doing so. Not everything can be owed to the fact that there was an extended credit facility that or program that was given to the New Patriotic Party or to the government. Because of that, we are benefiting from that.
We will come to that conversation. Maybe talk a bit about the budget before I allow you gentlemen to go. Listen to the president.
To ask why, out of all people, did you choose Dr. Bawumia as your vice president?
Of all the Bawumia as my vice president. Oh goodness, those are many, many questions. But I think you're aware of our country in terms of the balance, people from the south, people from the north. I think that for the unity of the country, it is good that we have a leadership where northerners and southerners are together so that the country can remain united. He's from the north. I wanted somebody from the north to partner me for the elections and then for the governance. He's also a very clever man, and I needed his brains to help me govern the country effectively. And he's an honest person. He speaks honestly to you. He's not one of those people who you have to guess what they're trying to say. He will say what he has to say very directly. And I like that. I prefer to deal with people who are also very direct in what they say. But these are some of the reasons why I chose Dr. Bawumia to be my...
Echo. So, said he needed Dr. Bawumia's mind to govern.
Yes.
And Dr. Bawumia says he now has a new vision.
In terms of economy, because we all know that His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has not been an economist. But you check,
economics at a crack
you
at them.
check, but it doesn't mean that I was even teaching microeconomics at the Dominion University. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'm an economist, so to speak. There are people who have chartered in it. There are people who have done their masters and their PhD into it, who are experts and professionals. His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo is not one of them. So I am just saying that yes, he needed his mind to be able to, as it were, govern.
Now the man said he has a new idea.
But I'm saying that
you know I'm asking this question.
yes.
When Nanado and the 16 others, right, wanted to contest for the presidency, you remember that?
Yeah.
Flag bearership.
Yeah.
They said they were coming in to continue the legacy of J.A. Kufuor.
Yes.
Listen to the tone of all the 10. Alan Tremantin, Boache Jako, Adai Nimo, Kwabene J.J. Pond, Dr. Baumia, who came. They said they all have a new vision. That's a big statement to make. That all the 17 says we want to continue what President Kufuor started, right? These people say the 10. They say we all have a new vision. That's a vote of no confidence on Nanado. That you have a new vision. Somebody says, I want to continue what you're doing. They say we are all bringing change, but they were part of the people who joined the campaign to preach change to us in 2012 and 2016.
I don't think
when you said Mahama must go, you remember that?
Yes, because of the circumstances that we have or find ourselves, it is proper to have a new vision, because the current global economic stress and difficulties demands that there should be some new thinking, there should be initiative in the way things are being done.
The old vision failed?
Well, it didn't fail, but as I said, there's a force majeure. I mean, nobody thought about it. So if your economies have been shaken to the extent that you cannot see the head and tail, then it means that you should be able to do some proper thinking.
The president also said that the next leader will take us out of this trouble.
Absolutely.
He has checked out.
He hasn't. Because you remember last
because
year,
his vice president said he is bringing change.
Last year
he's bringing a new idea. The boss says the next person will come and take over and do the work. He has 1 year, 4 months. He checked out on us.
Last year in Parliament, when we listened to the finance minister, he made us know that the quagmire that we find ourselves in is going to take us many years to be able to deal with. Okay, so that is an admission that just a year cannot take us from the conundrum that we find ourselves.
But has your government admitted its portion of the problem?
Why haven't we?
You have not.
Why? Why do you think we haven't?
You only say where we find ourselves, the situation, but you know, if I give you ingredients to cook jollof and the jollof gets burnt, you who cook the jollof, you can't blame the fire, the stove, the saucepan, the salt, everything else, and leave yourself who cooked the thing.
Government was giving freebies during the COVID-19, right?
You didn't give us freebies. We are paying for them.
Are you saying that we didn't give?
We are paying for them.
We didn't give water. We didn't give electricity.
We are paying for them.
The food that we shared.
We are paying for them.
I remember. Government had to bring food to persons who were no more.
We are paying for them.
Are you sure you are paying for?
We are paying for them.
That food.
Kojo Paul Kroma said that we're paying the freebies we got during COVID. We're paying for them.
Yeah, because
he speaks for government.
That time we gave it out as free.
It is not free. If you buy something on credit, it is not free, Vincent.
How do you buy it on credit? How did you buy it on
credit? If I go to Kofi Adams' shop, I say, Kofi, give me 2 t-shirts. And he gives it to me and say, okay, Johnny, go next 2 weeks, come and sort me out. And I go and I pay back. Is it free?
That time you needed it, right?
Yes, but it is not free. Let's just put that out there. Maybe
I'm saying
maybe I don't understand English, but when you say something is free,
it is free forever. You see, in the circumstances, at the time that we needed that help, government was able to provide for us. Now, to be able to take
just
ourselves
ask him
from
whether
that difficulty.
his car as MP, the Land Cruiser, is it free?
The car is not free. How can it be free?
Did you pay it at the time it was being handed over?
We didn't.
To you? But you are paying it. You are paying for it now. But you know it's not. You know it's not. You know it's not free.
It is different. That one, there's a tacit agreement that I'm going to be deducted.
But this one also we are paying through taxes and then the rest we are paying.
Vincent, you benefited from that announcement of free at the election. So you remember that?
Yes.
People were from food to think that they were getting it for free.
No.
I'm paying for the water, I'm paying for the electricity.
We gave them out for free. After we are done with dealing with the situation.
Boss, you're a lawyer.
After we are done,
you know the weight of words. Was it free?
And I'm saying that time it was free. We gave it out for free. But you see, for us to be able to come out of that situation as a nation, it will have to be all hands on deck. All of us will have to contribute in making sure that the mess that has been caused because of a force majeure, we will have to restore ourselves before.
So you have unfreed the free.
The force majeure came.
You have unfreed the free.
We are finding a way to be able to deal with the matter. It is not only in Ghana, everywhere in the world.
But nobody promised free water anywhere, free electricity anywhere. The people believed that it was free water, free electricity, and free food in Accra, Kumasi,
there were incentives
Tema,
that were given
Kaswa.
to the aged in the United States. There were incentives.
I mean, nobody can say that it was free.
It is not free.
Chief Senior, you said you were a lawyer. You know it can't happen.
Yes,
but how is that being
if
free?
If there's any engagement and
I
give you this, you don't give me any consideration. I've given it to you, gratuity.
Yes.
Take it.
Yes.
Then later I come to you to demand payment. It won't hold in any
remember
legal
that at the
space.
time that this was given, there was no
Even
consideration
if they just
to that effect.
if they give you a gift,
There was no consideration.
If they give you a gift,
but you see, in the management, or if you like,
I'm
in
saying
the
that
economy,
even
if you are managing an economy, it is not as simple. You don't put it as simple as you are talking about. That there should be a consideration of what
Vincent,
no.
offer, acceptance, consideration.
You are not doing contract law here.
I'm saying,
but you had a social contract.
That's a social contract.
You had a social
This is
contract.
a management.
It's a social contract.
This is a management with the state.
If they give you land as a gift,
Yes.
there's something that you must do to complete that transfer of gift of land to you.
Yes.
If you don't do it, that gift doesn't even.
The deed has to.
You said we shouldn't do that thing that we're supposed to do to take it. You said we should take it.
Yes.
Then later
Which we did. But because there's a problem now. Okay. That's what I'm saying, that the management of the economy is different from this contract law analysis.
You have a social contract with us.
Yes.
And based on that 4-year social contract we gave to you from 2017 to 2020, towards the end of that social contract, you came to tell us that, we want 4 more to do more for you.
Yes.
And this is how we are beginning the more for you.
Yes.
Take free water, take free electricity,
Yes.
take free food. Then we also believe that, our government loves us too much. It's giving us free things.
Yes.
That was the consideration we made. You made us an offer.
Yes.
We made a consideration of it. And then we accepted it.
Yes.
And then we went to
voted
vote for you.
Yes.
Now you say you have unfreed the free.
And I'm saying that in the management of an economy, okay, you cannot oversimplify it to the terms of a contract. I am saying that yes,
Contract is not simple.
No, you cannot oversimplify it.
Let's move away. Let's move away.
But the point is that at the point in time when we had this problem, it was difficult for us as a nation. Remember, we had to freeze all our borders. Okay, the economy was at a standstill. I mean, where were we supposed to get these monies from? We were supposed to make sure that lives were saved first. So at that time, there was nothing like a contract, but it was necessary for us to do to be able to support the Ghanaian people. Now, out of that situation, how do we deal with that quagmire? We deal with that quagmire by putting all hands on deck, by having a shared responsibility. The shared responsibility whereby Vincent will pay a penny, Kofi Adam will pay Sempoa, and all the other people will also come together to pay something to be able to make sure that you can have a
for you, your
back.
problem is that we should not say that it was not free
I'm saying that it was free.
at the time.
Yes.
But it is not free anymore.
Well, I'm just saying that in the management of an economy, you cannot oversimplify it and make it look as if you are paying for what we were given. No. But I'm just saying that we have to find a way to be able to come back or restore ourselves to where we found ourselves before the COVID.
Well,
see, Kofi, hold on. You see the president, when we were at our lowest in COVID, he announced to us in one of those fellow Ghanaians, state addresses, he announced that the thing was free. He even came back to say that he has extended the freebies, right? This was towards the election. And then after the election, he extended it again. And those below the lifeline, they were rolled over. How do you now come and tell me that I have to pay for it and then I still must keep it in my mind that it is free?
Benefited from that, but now we are all
paying. Because
not everybody benefited
those of us who were not connected
I didn't take free water.
to the water.
I didn't take
They said they would
but
bring
I'm paying.
tankers to us. They didn't bring the tankers.
Have you been told that what you consumed at that time, this was the amount to come and pay?
But Ghana Water Company brought some 80 million thing that we owe them, and they Ghana Water.
So I'm saying that.
Exactly.
So I'm saying that let us not oversimplify it. We are oversimplifying the matter. The management of an economy is not that simplified.
Do you now want to restrict how we want to articulate what we feel and know and what we are paying for?
I am not saying so.
But that is
all
we
that
should not
I'm saying
simplify
is
it.
that yes, you're oversimplifying it. There was a situation at hand. The situation at hand demanded that we hold the waste of the Ghanaian people, especially those who could not able to go and come, with respect to how a young person will go to town every day, will get about 20 or 30 cedis, and that's what he or she is going to live on. If such a person is going to for work for about 3 months, what that meant was that the person will have no source of living. Or source of income for a living. So government at the time had to support people. At the time, I do not think that government had the intention of allowing Ghanaian people to pay in future. But after we came out of the situation, or in the process of coming out of the situation, because of the hit of the standstill in our economy, because of the freeze on our borders, because there were no importation, because there were no exportation and all that, affecting our economy, we needed to fix the problem. And in fixing the problem, we come to the table to think about how we can
listen to the citizens, how they reacted to the free water, free electricity. Listen to them.
Na yehunu abaya waya se bida eti ye danase
ya ba ye bu so free ye nyaduane di free eti ka me nkokura na ka me to abani nya ya ka me tuni nyina ama na na ntia da na do ase ye waya no nkoso a no nyama ye saa wa sa de boso me miensa e sa be ka ho me asa bu so ni kwade ye hunu so aban bia da
aba papa ni danase se de yade ba yi o se abon ho modin pa ma wa hwe ama o mo e ho ato ye bibibi Timisen yame boa afidan for more nanano abesa ye adwuma biu ama isa to aba mana na to aso o nyuma pa wo ye ni akon ye wo ye nyina na si bebi
wa ya de papa ade a wa ye ne de ye hura sida ye de bema no gise nyame asida ene ye de bema no ade bia ye de bema no bia no ebesai nyame asida de ensai da wa me ebu nsuo free titi wa ma ko school free yare ye ba ye wa ji ye wo ho pa nanado me bo wa baso nana wa ya de
mi ase se nana wasama sa kwan abato so mprenu abra no da no ba ye no ye bu no bo so miensa obi antu ya kapre da bo so miensa na chi no asa akwanya asa ba se ensa mu no bo so miensa bi ese ama omani nyina ye ni age
de ya kan se nana nyame won hira no nyame ya ne kasia obutu anyame nkai no omba no ho ban na nyame adum 2020 ya nim sa aye dan a obesa afa
na nado de ye hunu sulu pada efise ye wa ye ne boya de ni enti ase yeso kwensuo a odi ache kaniaka osiansanfa ne kwa efise o mampanyi bi odu ni pa ho
nyame sha na ne nim sa na adwuma pa wa ye nti.
So this is what the people thought. Vincent, the people.
Yes, because at that
in
time
the
it was
villages,
free. Yes.
they believed that something good was happening to them.
Yes,
they
yes,
are
yes.
paying for it.
Yes, yes.
And you say they should still call it free.
At that time, there was no consideration for it. At that time,
no, the consideration was that they were going to vote for you. That's what I'm drawing your mind to.
And I'm saying
you understand contracts better than me.
Well,
right?
you understand contracts.
I beg you. You understand. You are the learned man here in the studio.
You understand contracts.
The people. You heard the people.
Yes.
That's nana de ebe tuamano, nana de obe tuaso betena so sa, nana de nyamin shrano. People also all the prayers and the blessings.
Yes. Yes. But after the situation.
You received the blessings
after the situation, we now came back to the drawing board to see how we can resurrect our economy.
You know, try. Kofi, let's wrap up the conversation.
Well, clearly, a number of issues have been raised by Vincent that needs clear debunking or explanation. He talks about some of the positives that we saw in 2017 and 2018. By 2019, we've started a nosedive. Things had started getting worse because of how we were running a situation. Don't forget that I said earlier, the Economic Intelligence Unit already predicted how we were going to perform. Our performance in 2017-2018 was based necessarily on oil revenue because 2 more oil fields that we have worked on have now been added to the Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia administration. The 10 fields and the Sankofa fields were added to the Jubilee. Before then, we were only getting about $280 million every year. This rose to $6 billion every year as a result of the addition of 10 and Sankofa fields. So revenue from oil alone was the booster for the economy. Again, we now also have Ghana Gas, which had begun now full operations because we were then importing gas. Ghana Gas coming on stream in the later part of 2015 with partial completion and total completion January of 2016, became very fully operational by 2017. So we were saving almost $300 million in terms of what? Gas imports. This was also a way of boosting the economy. And then a major revenue generation called ESLA was also available to them. So a lot of things that we did, they just came and met. Theirs was to just supervise the distribution. The hard work had already been done.
But you have had the Asempa budget. You have had the Juma budget. You have had the Mpuntu budget. You have the Nkabum budget.
Now we say
Ajenkwa budget, Nkunim budget. You are still not happy.
Nkabum did not Kayebum. Ajenkwa couldn't Nkwa. What is the Nkunim about? Nkunim over what? What have we overcome in this situation? Is it the haircuts? Is it the old ladies and the old men demonstrating with their walking sticks to the ministries that they are being given haircuts? Or is it the physically challenged who go to the Ministry of Roads because they have been thrown out and some of them are even dying? Are they the ones that they incunim over? Or the mortuary men who are threatening that the agreement they've had with government in November of 2020, government have failed to implement up till now. And therefore they are threatening some strikes. So clearly, my colleague here don't understand what it is that
But you
he's
see
talking.
nothing good in the budget? Kenofrata says we are turning the corner.
No, he says we are turning the corner. You heard others, they tell you we are still in the woods, that we haven't gotten out of. Like someone said, if you turn a corner where you are not supposed to turn, then it means you are turning a corner to nowhere. Which corner have we turned? Is it depreciation of the cedi? Is it the high fuel prices that we are paying? Is it the inflation? They will tell you inflation has come down generally. Right. But go and check the details. The food inflation is still so high. Many of the things you and I and him, we consume in our homes is way above 50%. Many of the things that we consume. So what has driven the inflation down to the 30-something they are telling you are not things that we use daily. So we should not be celebrating the global inflation figure coming down. Let's look into the details. Okay. The food inflation. Those are the things that we should be worried about. But there's nothing really productive in this budget. You want to celebrate nominal GDP of 1 trillion? No. This is driven by inflation. You cannot have your inflation this high and be celebrating nominal GDP.
Eko, is there Nkunim at all?
Well, it depends on how you look at it, because if you do a comparative analysis as to where we came from and where we are now, I think there's some amount of Nkunim. Why do I say so?
Tell me.
The amount of, if you like, fuel that you used to buy in terms of quantity as just opposed to its price is now reduced. Just about 8 months to 9 months to 10 months ago, fuel prices were higher than as we speak. That time you just could not bear it. But today, because of the improvements in our situation, we've had a reduction in our fuel prices. Today, inflation is no more 54%, as just about 8 months, 10 months ago, inflation used to be. Today, the inflation is within 30s. It is not a victory in terms of the fact that we are out of the woods yet. We are not, but there's some amount of improvement.
So I believe that things we are out of the woods. We have turned the corner.
Yes, we have turned the corner, because if you were having an inflation of 54% and now it is 30-something%, it means that there's been a reduction.
People are not jubilating.
Well, I mean, I share in their consent because of where we are. But from where we are coming from and where we are now, I think that there's some amount of improvement. Well, I mean, no government can be blamed for that. I mean, force majeure, Russia, and all those things. No government anticipated that. So, for a fair assessment as to blaming a government should be done from 2017 to 2020.
We are crying more than the Russians and the Ukrainians who are fighting.
I don't think so today. I mean, there's so much debt on the United States of America, they are not able to pay. So much difficulty in terms of living standards in the UK. I was in UK just about a month ago. The citizens of UK are crying and they are in difficult times because basic food items are on the rise.
You know, Ukraine, in spite of the war, is exporting grain.
Yeah.
We planting for food and jobs.
As a common closure of border by Nigeria between Nigeria and Benin, it affected us.
Yes.
When Nigeria just closed this, it affected us because we could not import even food with all these fertile lands that we have all over here.
That is the kind of economy that we have.
But you said you
were going to change it from a Georgesbergen economy.
But if you had not
from taxation to production,
trust me.
Have you forgotten about all those things?
Yeah. Trust me. If we had not put in those strategies to be able to be where we are today, and it was the NDC government that were hit with all these challenges, Ghana would have collapsed.
What have you done? That the buffer stock, which was established, supposed to buy offtake from farmers. That's why we established buffer stock in 2010. It's supposed to offtake from farmers. Today, buffer stock is importing food. Buffer stock that is supposed to be the reason why the NDC established buffer stock company was supposed to buy from farmers because we had a program to invest heavily. So you buy off from there. Now buffer stock is importing unwholesome food and selling to schools per the Auditor General's report.
I have to go. Gentlemen, I thank you for spending your money with us.
Thank you so much.
Adams is the Member of Parliament for Boem constituency, and lawyer Vincent Eko Sefwa. He is the Member of Parliament for Otafo constituency. You gentlemen are running again, right?
Yes, sure.
I'm
already a candidate. He will be facing.
He has to go and face his side.
That's why he has to greet all the executives and everybody anytime.
Vincent is a good guy.
He will win. There's no reason why he shouldn't win.
He's a good guy.
We went through how many years of planting for food and jobs. We didn't get the food, we didn't get the jobs, but the money was spent. So the growth, where the growth should come for me, agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, because it employs large numbers of people. If you go to the factories in this country right now, I can bet you 9 out of 10 are shedding numbers. So those figures that we are quoting, we must always ask, what would they mean to us, to our people? Because if poverty levels are rising, then we have a problem. So we are not focusing on those areas where jobs can be created. In the service industry.
And our all-white party is up. Stoneboy, Manifesto, Aquaboa, and KK Fosu. 28th of December at the Palm Royal Beach. Gentlemen, I want to specially invite you to our all-white party. And Eko, you start first. What's your pick? Stoneboy, Manifest, Aquaboa, or KK Fosu?
Stoneboy is my all-time favorite musician, and my favorite song of Stoneboy is My Name.
My Name. You only know my name. You don't know my story. Oh no, no, no.
Oh no, 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 no. My favorite music.
You like that?
I like Stoneboy so well. I love him so much, and anytime that I am down, that is the music that I want to listen to. Apart from religious music, but I mean, anytime that I want to get myself enlightened up, it is Stoneboy. So Stoneboy any day.
Stoneboy
any day.
Kofi.
Well, as an Achama-based person, because you know that I just love the guy, and I like his music so much. And so you get home and it's infected all the kids, and all of them have become
they are BIM natives.
They are BIM Nation fans.
Okay, I see.
And so we'll be available if
28,
God gives us the
28. We'll see you in your all white
to join you. Where is it taking place?
Oh, La Palm Royal Beach.
Okay.
So we'll get a table.
How do we get tickets?
I'll give you the number to call.
Okay, table packages.
Yes. There are nice voices at the end, you can buy the chairs on the table. We have platinum.
Are the voices for sale also? So they are nice voices.
That will pick your calls.
Okay.
That will pick your calls. But they have the platinum table, 8 seats, 10,000 Ghana cedis, but you can buy one seat for 1,250. There's a couch setup, so it's not the regular seats. You have a bottle of champagne, you have 3 Prosecco, you have a bottle of whiskey, you have a bottle of wine, a bottle of tequila, 2 packs of beer, that's 12 bottles, bottle of water, you have soft drinks, mixers, cocktail per guest, ultimate, unlimited grills and buffet dinner, and wristbands, dedicated weighted service for you if you get the platinum table for 10,000 cedis. There's also gold, there's also diamond, there's bronze, and then there's silver. So you decide.
I think we can do diamond.
Yeah,
you and I can come together and find a way to do diamond. Invite one or 2 family members.
Diamond is 8K. So
diamond is 8.
Yeah,
my family is big.
But so you bring 4, he brings 4.
I have a single man, so.
But we'll see you. We'll see you.
Some of us have ended and they are starting.
They are starting. So anyway, so 62s will follow you onto your table. Me, I'll be working. So I wish you all the best.
Nowhere to find them. Only if you was kind. From the beginning.
Osofo Ediani wearing green and black in the studio. Grace, sit down. Osofo Ediani.
What a shame. Why do you want me to feel?
One Mrs. Ajimine.
Hi, Johnny.
Alive. Charlie. You know get size.
And today is my niece's birthday, so I need to send her a shout out. Her name is Stephanie Ayeyi Asare.
Hey, say it again.
Stephanie Ayeyi Asare. She's 4 years.
Ayeyi Asare. 4 years today.
Yes.